FooRay and Chamba, the two hosts. If I may, I'm thinking that you chose the best thing. If you like them nerd shows and all of these movies. What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat.
What up, Chipper Chaps? This is a Chipper Chap Chat episode 160.
160.
I am FooRay.
I'm Chamba.
We're going to talk about nerdy stuff today. I think mainly, Moonknight and Dr.Strange?
Mainly Moonknight and mainly Doctor Strange too, to be honest. But yeah, those are the majority of.
Okay, well, let's get the early parts out right away. So basically, first news is R.I.P. to the CW, pretty much.
Killing it. Not in a good way.
Yeah. A bunch of their stuff is getting canceled. It seems like they're wrapping up a bunch of it. Conspiracy theories be what they are about what their plans are with the new Flash. That's another thing that I didn't write down, but we can talk about. Yeah. But where is the list? Okay, so they are, to add to the list of stuff they canceled, they already canceled Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow.
Did they end those? All right. When you say canceled, when you say the end of CW, does that actually mean they're done? Like, did they end it well? Did it just
I don't know which ones of these are going to get like proper endings. I think like maybe shows like DC's Stargirl, which has like a third season coming out.
Okay.
They might be able to like rewrite some stuff to properly end some of that. But I can't imagine that all of them are going to get proper endings. But they also canceled non-superhero related stuff, like Charmed, I guess, was going for 4 seasons.
I'll be honest, I did not even know. I remembered. I don't even know if we mentioned it, that they were going to do a reboot. Maybe.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. It was one of the, like, because I remember they made them all brown. That was the thing. But I didn't watch the original Charmed, so...
I did on occasion because it's on TV, and that was during the period where I was still watching TV. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't think I ever caught a full episode of Charmed. I know I've seen the intro because I like that song, but that's probably the only thing.
But
what else got canceled? Dynasty after 5 seasons.
What's Dynasty?
Reboot. I know it was an old show. I think it was like a oil tycoons or something, but it was like an old soap opera, and they brought it back, like current day version of it.
But it was still a soap.
Yeah, I think it was like higher budget, but the same kind of drama type deal. But that one I guess went for 5 seasons. I think it had the homie from Miami Vice. What's his name? White dude.
White dude Vice. That guy.
I can't think of his name. His daughter's famous. Oh, Don Johnson. I think it has Don Johnson in it.
Okay, Dakota is his daughter.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
Right. But yeah, I think that one had him in it. In the Dark, not even sure what that is, got canceled after 4 seasons.
I'll be honest. You say In the Dark, to me, I was like, oh, is this like a remake of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Or
not.
One
not
of those other
they did bring that back though, for Nickelodeon.
Oh, that was a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, that was a Snick. That was a Snick show.
What's Snick?
Snick was after all the cartoons and stuff were done. They had like a block for teenagers. That's where like all that.
What does Snick stand for?
I don't know, because it was They called it Snick, but it was teen.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, wouldn't it be Snick?
Right.
Or nicked. Or nicked with a T in the end of it.
Maybe that was too weird of a sound.
Yeah, but Snick randomly is cool, I guess.
Oh, because I think it was Saturdays.
Oh, see, there you go. Answered.
I think that might have been what it is.
Saturday Nick.
Sure, but yeah, I think it was Saturday night Nickelodeon.
All right, there we go. Perfect. Answered. Solved. Mystery.
Right. Also canceled Legacies after 4 seasons, which was a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. So now officially the Vampire Diaries franchise is over.
I thought it was done, man. You used to watch that, right?
No, never watched that one.
You watched a vampire show.
I had an ex that was way into it. I watched True Blood.
That's the one. That one never got a spin-off?
Nah, nope.
Oh.
Other than maybe the Northman, because I haven't seen it.
See that you just made that one up.
Well, because the guy from True Blood, he's that from the Northman. What's his face? He's related to Selvig, and Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a Skarsgård, and he played a character on True Blood called Eric Northman, and now there's a Northman movie
Oh,
out.
is it related?
Who I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Could be a spinoff. I don't know. It's got
Ooh,
Bjork in it.
okay.
I know that.
What in the movie?
Yeah, and the Northman. She plays like a
What?
witch or something.
That's tight. Good for her.
Also canceled Roswell, New Mexico after 4 seasons.
I watched the original Roswell.
I remember it being a thing, but I never
Yeah.
watched it.
When I say I watched, I'm maybe about 4 episodes within how many seasons they did.
Yeah,
I know they're aliens.
right. The 4400 got canceled after its first season. I guess that was also a show they brought back. So
Oh, yeah,
it
I was
got
like-
canceled for its first season
Of the
after
bring back.
being brought back. Yeah,
So was it a continuation or was it a reboot?
no clue because I've never even seen the old
Okay.
4400. I think from what I remember, the only thing I kind of vaguely remember is it's like 4400 people go missing for like 4 years or something, and then suddenly pop back up. I don't know. Also, Naomi got canceled after its first season. R.I.P. to Ava DuVernay's DC shit because her New God shit got canceled as well.
Was it related?
Just as they're both DC things. Yeah, so Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman were also canceled after 7 seasons and 3 seasons.
Okay, back to the question that I had originally. When it's
Yeah.
canceled, did they end it properly or is it just a
That's
proper?
what I'm saying. I
it's
don't
done?
know. I think the ones that they already have stuff in the works, they'll get to end properly. The other ones, they're just done.
I wonder if like because they know that now it's like, oh, we canceled. Is there a way like are they still like in the middle of filming?
No clue.
Or it's because that's the thing. Like, I wonder, like, when you find out, like, if you're in the middle of filming, say, you're filming whatever season you're in, and you just find out you're cancelled. Depending on how far you are into it, can you be like, oh, how about we're still early? Let's wrap it up. Let's.
Yeah, I think that depends on how much they give a shit about the property to begin with. Like for something like Legends of Tomorrow, because it has gone on for 7 seasons, they might try and give it a proper ending, or they might just go, well, whatever. It's a side plot thing for a universe that's collapsing, so who gives a shit?
Right.
Don't really know. And
That's
like from the little bit I've seen, that cast is like completely fucking different. I think maybe the chick who played White Canary is still there, but like everybody else is fucking.
So it was like a revolving door cast.
It seems like because it was all even from the start.
I
it
thought that was
all,
the
like,
intention,
random
right?
Side characters.
I thought
yeah.
that's what the intention was. It's supposed to be like, oh, but then all of a sudden, like, we're being, it's successful. Let's keep some of these guys in it, but then let's try something different.
Let's just kick them through time where they don't have to interact with anyone. We can show Jonah Hex pop up randomly. That was kind of the highlight of that show from recollection.
Okay, I don't even remember he was in there.
But then, yeah, DC Stargirl is the only one that they haven't announced if that one is going to be renewed or canceled yet.
So the CW as a whole, is it done?
Well, the rumor is it's being shopped around to be sold, and that's why they're like closing shop on all the people. Because, yeah, maybe just trying to clean it up so it's easier to give to someone.
It just makes sense for it to go like HBO Max, because that's essentially HBO Max is Warner Brothers, ain't it?
Right. I think a lot of those shows, they won't continue, but I think a lot of those shows will be moved over to HBO Max. Kind of like, how the Netflix shit just popped up on Disney Plus. I think it'll be sort of like that. Look at you already drawing faces and shit. I wasn't paying no attention.
It's fine. It's just random sketching while we're talking. I guess I don't know. Naomi, that's unfortunate. Didn't she appear in the comics?
I don't know. I don't know the character.
That's weird.
I assume she's related to the comics in some form, but I don't know the
Right.
character, and I don't really even know
Who that
DC
is? Yeah.
outside specific characters. So
But see, and that's the problem with DC. You have a whole stable, but you're so focused on the set few that you're neglecting everybody else. As far as DC television, though, the biggest hit, I'd say even more of a hit than bloody a lot of the CW stuff, has been Peacemaker.
It's definitely the thing that I've remembered people talking about the most positively. And I liked Peacemaker
I did
for what it
too.
was.
I enjoyed that one.
I liked Suicide Squad.
The Suicide
uncut
Squad.
version. Yeah.
We got to be specific because it's weird that they have the same name, sort of.
It kind of is, but you know, I got it at the time. It felt rebooty without rebooting.
Yeah.
Rebooting, but yeah, I liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
And James Gunn supposedly has something else in the works too.
With them?
Yeah, with DC. He hasn't announced what it is yet.
Okay.
Though.
I wonder if he's like, now that he's kind of finished filming Guardians, it's wrapped. If he's just done with Marvel.
I imagine he's still got something to do with that, like, Christmas special or whatever.
Right. I mean, like, obviously, like, once that's done too, but like, I wonder if it's like, yeah, like, this is this is no more. Marvel, no more.
You think so?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
I imagine he's had a pretty good relationship with them outside of, you know, like Pro Mutter, like, pulling the plug on him.
Yeah, wanting to cancel him for a little bit.
Right.
I just wonder.
But I don't know. So I guess let's talk about Moon Knight.
Yep. Moon Knight episode 6 happened not this week, the week prior. Yeah.
I almost wish I would have went back and listened to our last episode where we talked about what we thought was going to happen. Because one of the things that I kept talking about did happen. The giant fucking kaiju.
And I'll be honest,
woman.
I fucking loved it.
I did love it. I thought that was fun.
I loved it.
I thought they kind of explained it away. Because at first I was like, how's nobody seeing this shit? But they did explain the, like with the jackal fight, nobody's seeing the things.
That's what I liked about it. Like, the questions that people might have were either most likely touched upon or answered already.
Right.
So they felt they felt, you know, like almost like an earthquake was going on. Something was going on, but
right, they'll feel the shaking.
Yeah, but they don't see the giant alligator fight the giant bird skull head. So.
Were you satisfied with the ending of that?
Yeah, dude. I liked it. I liked it because I was speaking to a bunch of people this week on different podcasts and stuff that I'm on. And we were talking, I was guest on and stuff like that too, where it's like, people, like, just getting people's opinions on it. It's like, were they happy with it? And I'm like, well, it's like, they'll still have questions about it. And I'm like, it's cool to have questions and it not be answered now because if they're gonna be relevant down the line, we'll get answers.
Right.
Like,
for sure.
Well, the whole asking questions now, I love asking. Well, we always ask questions about, like, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? But we're not like, but I don't think, well, at least between the both of us, I don't think when we ask the questions, it's not like we expect the answers right now. I think we eventually hope to get the answers. Or maybe we're asking even the wrong questions. Like, that's not the focus that they're actually going for. It's like, it's not going to be relevant down the line in the story.
Right.
So I like that. I like where it's going. I like that it's not the end, that this is more.
Because it just seemed like they were setting up more.
Yeah.
Which, do you think, because a lot of the press came out when they were, you know, first getting started about how Oscar Isaac didn't sign on for more than one season or whatever. So it wasn't clear, like, maybe they're going to keep the character off. Do you think that stuff was just intentionally out there to have mystery on whether the character stays alive?
I reckon. I reckon it's that way. It's not going to get people, it's just going to make people question it more as they're watching it. Like, I don't know. I liked it. I
But
thought
you
it
were
ended cool.
satisfied with the ending. There
Oh
was
yeah,
enough Moonknight for you, because that was a lot of people's complaints.
dude.
Just not enough Moonknight.
I'm on the boat where I'm like, if we are seeing him out of the suit, that's still him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I probably brought this up before. It's like, if I care about the character behind the mask, I'll
Right.
care more about him. What happens to him when he's wearing it?
Mm-hmm.
And
I fully agree.
right, it's like, and man, dude, his acting was kick ass.
Yeah, he was stellar. I mean,
This,
not
there,
that Oscar Isaac's ever been like
right,
bad.
but goodness gracious, there's moments in this where he was like going back and forth in the same shot, and he looked like a different character.
Right.
I'm like,
I
dude
thought,
is good. She was good too.
yes, she was good.
When she
I
got
really liked
possessed by that actual,
the deity.
yeah, I was like, it really felt like she was in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, these guys are good.
I saw some people were like confused by her outfit. Like, why is she randomly a bird? Because she was possessed by a hippo god or whatever. But it's not like Moon Knight turns into a bird shape or
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I thought it was cool. Plus, I think it was her in general was supposed to be a reference to the Scarlet Scarab.
I think that's what she's
So
supposed to. I think that's what she
right.
is.
So I
She's
think that was just a version of her, whatever that outfit is. Even though Scarlet Scarab usually is
a
an
dude.
antagonist.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what their like long game plan is. Maybe eventually you'll find out that the one who killed her dad is Jake Lockley, and then she'll become an antagonist who has the powers given to her by the hippo goddess or whatever.
But yeah, like it's cool seeing Jake in the end, and again, Oscar Isaac, same actor, different character.
Yeah.
Real good. Real good.
He's a solid.
He's really
actor,
good. I just in the end though, they just offed him. Harrow.
Right. Yeah. Well, we don't know.
Yeah,
Didn't
right,
see a
right.
body.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
you
true.
got to imagine. You got to imagine he got shot there.
Yeah.
But Mark survived getting shot because of his avatar.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, yeah. So there's a possibility because he technically died.
I think that was the one thing I wish they would have made a little bit cooler is like when Harrow finally becomes the avatar of
That was a missed
Ahmed or whatever.
opportunity.
He's just like, well, my stick is cooler. That's about
He's
it.
stick powered up.
Yeah, I can take a punch now.
Yeah.
You know.
Which was cool, dude. The fight scenes, dude. The fight scenes. When he was switching
Fight scenes
between
were dope.
Moon Knight and Mr. Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Yeah, they were
Sick.
wicked.
Yeah, I love this episode. I don't know, man. The people that were complaining, like, I can hear, I understand their complaints. I understand the issues with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, look at all the stuff we're getting these days. We are so spoiled.
I know.
We are so spoiled.
I was trying to explain to my lady when we went and saw Dr.Strange. I was like, I guess to get a little bit ahead of ourselves, I was like, I really liked the movie. However, if I had seen this movie when I was 13, this would have been the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. Just because some of the stuff they did, I'm like, I couldn't have called that. Like, as a kid, I couldn't have called I'd ever see any of this shit in live action form. So with Moon Knight, I feel like it's nice to see that, but I never, outside of like checking out some David Finch art because I really liked how he drew him, I never really read Moon Knight books.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as attached to the character. I was ready to fall in love with the character for the first time.
Do you think you did because of the show?
I think I have a love for the character that was shown to me, but I don't know if it persists to the books. Like, I don't know if I'm going to back search Moon Knight books.
Right.
But I liked how he was portrayed in there.
See, the thing with me is, like, I was talking with others regarding this, and in regards to anything that's adapted, it's cool that we're getting this, one, and if this is different, which it is going to be different from, you know, the source material, different
it
enough from the
always
source material,
differs.
we've always got that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this has to kind of exist in itself.
Right.
Which relates to Doctor Strange also, by the way. Which relates to everything. All the MCU in general. It has to, like, while it definitely takes from the original source material, which is comic books, it has to be able to live on its own. And you can't always go, oh, it's too different, or they've changed it. It's like, well, they kind of have to. It has to be its thing.
Right. It has to have a life on its own, especially because they've done some stuff that I guess in this Doctor Strange movie as well that I feel like canonized some questions I had. Like in this Multiverse of Madness, I was curious if we would see like them say, "Oh yeah, one of our universes takes place on comic pages or something," and like then they would identify that universe
Yes.
is happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in this movie, they, for the second time, which is confusing to me a little bit, designated the MCU universe as the 616.
Yeah. See, I was having a conversation with a mate regarding the whole 616 thing.
Right.
And I see the point of view now where it's it's like the 616, like, in regards to, in comics, the 616 is the main universe. In the medium of comics, that's the 616. That is the main universe. In the medium of film and television, 616 is the main universe.
Right.
That's all that number represents at that point.
And
That's
think
the
some
core.
people are confused just because
It's
in the
both
comics
uses 616.
they identified the movie universe as Earth 9999 or something like that. Hella nines. And so because they acknowledged the universe, the cinematic universe existing in the comics, it seemed like they would work both ways.
Right. No. We have to.
However,
Yeah, we can't
it
consider
seems
that
like
the
it's
fact
adapting.
now. Yeah.
Now, that's not really my issue. My issue is they already called it the 616 for fakesies in Spider-Man Far From Home. Mysterio calls their Earth 616.
Right.
So he just fucking randomly landed
yeah.
on that number
Yeah.
while bullshitting. That seems like...
Sure. And the thing is, you can look at, like, put it this way. If that's a mistake, or if that's something that they essentially retconned, then yeah. That's essentially something. Because, like, these things are still made by people who aren't perfect. We're not perfect, so things are gonna, mistakes will be made. And if that's them correcting themselves with this, where it's like, yeah, this is technically 616. And again, in saying that too, it's just a number, because our universe, Strange, we never designated numbers to the universe. It only was 616 when they went into the other universe. We're already getting to Strange right now, by the way.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess we covered most of what we wanted to cover from
Moonknight, kick-ass. I'm looking forward to the next one. If, whenever that'll happen.
Also, pretty sure every one of those blackouts was Jake, like we talked about.
Oh, yeah,
because it was the only time he ever blacked out was when he did the ultra-violent shit, and I think that ended up being
100%. 100%.
Also,
in regards to the blackouts, stuff, it seems like Jake is the only one that knows both of them. He's aware of all of them.
Right. He's aware of all of them, but none of them are aware of him.
Exactly.
Only
Which is cool. And also the whole twist, I guess, is like Khonshu never wanted his wife. That was just what he thought.
Like, I just want the violent one.
Yeah, he wanted Jake.
Though he did offer it to her.
He did.
So if she would have accepted it, who knows?
Right, but it's like Jake's the target, the real target.
I can't tell if that's real or if that's what he said.
And hey, at this point,
couldn't get her to do
either way, love it.
Right. But that's the fun part is like how much of what he says is bullshit.
Exactly. All right. Awesome series. Loved it. I loved Moon Knight.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun.
Yep.
If they make a figure of that one, I'll be pretty tempted.
You don't like the
Especially,
legends?
they're just okay to me. I think that one is one where like maybe for the Mister Knight it would be okay. But I
Okay.
don't know if I would want it for the Moonknight one because you got to
Mm-mm.
have all the flowy cape and detail and
Yeah, yeah.
shit.
Maybe an import figure of that.
Right. If they do one, I don't know
Right.
if they. I don't know that they've done. Oh wait, they did do. No, they didn't do imports for anything off the series, did they?
Not yet.
I
Oh
know
no, of the series.
they've
Oh,
done
of any of the
Legend
Disney
stuff
Plus? No,
at
no,
least.
Disney Plus. Disney Plus. They have done Falcon, Winter Soldier, U.S. Agent.
Okay.
SH
Did
Figuarts
they
have made them three.
actual SH ones? But did they
SH.
do White Vision as well, or that was just
They
Legends?
showed it.
Okay, because I still want
SH
that White Vision.
showed White Vision, regular Vision, Wanda.
Mm,
They showed it during one of their presentations. They have yet to make it available for pre-order. So, mate, that's why I'm hoping for like because Comic Con's happening this year.
right.
I'm not going. It's tempting. It's tempting. Oh, unrelated. Japan's gonna open up.
Mm,
I'm thinking about going October, maybe.
nice.
Yeah.
I
So that's a thing.
I was supposed to do another trip in October, but I think that one got canceled because my mom wants to do something in December for her birthday. So I think that's happening instead. But hey, if I'm making bread, maybe I go to Japan. That'd be cool.
I was speaking to Long and Jenny, and they're like, they want to set it up, and I'm like, I want to leave Australia. Not because I hate Australia, but because
Just a change of scenery.
I've been here too long, longer than I have in the past 15
Decade.
years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, about. Anyway, back to geek talk. That is geek talk though. Japan is just straight geek stuff.
Um. So with Doctor Strange, or yeah, with Doctor Strange, the 616 thing I thought was confusing because of Mysterio, but other than that, the designation stuff didn't really bother me. What did you expect going into this? Because you said you only saw one trailer.
I saw the teaser, the original teaser, and that's it. No TV spots, no main trailers. Because I know, they do the teaser, they do trailers. I didn't even see the trailer. I saw the teaser that was attached to Spider-Man. I saw that. That's it.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know what happened, and I know Kevin Feige was complaining about how much was shown in the trailers.
I didn't see any of it.
But for some reason in the TV spots, I don't know if they were like panicking, they didn't think the movie was going to do well enough or something, but they showed Captain Carter's shield. They showed her like not just from the back like reacting to something Wanda did with the jetpack thing,
Which is cool.
and they showed
The yellow of the chair.
the yellow
right?
yeah, the yellow chair.
Yeah. I would have been bummed.
I mean, I don't think it ruined anything for
No,
me
no,
because
no.
they already hinted.
Right,
They already
right.
hinted at both because they
Yeah.
showed her shield in the poster and they
Right.
showed Professor
Yeah,
X from
we
the
heard the
back.
voice. Yeah, we heard the
Right.
voice supposedly.
So it's not like things I didn't know was coming, but it was weird to me that they put that
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
in the
100%.
trailer. That seems like something they do for like final trailer. Like that's what they did with Civil War. Like they didn't show Spider-Man until like the last trailer that came out for that. Um So yeah, I don't know. That part was weird, but I wasn't expecting hella. Um. So when you went into it, you saw none of that shit coming. Even we talked about some of it.
We talked about
We
some
talked
of it.
about Captain Carter maybe showing up, and we
Yeah.
talked about the Illuminati stuff.
Yeah. Um, we talked about possibly Fantastic Four stuff.
Right.
But
Which as soon as they got to the Christine scene where he's introducing himself to Christine, wakes up or whatever.
and she said Baxter
As soon as
building.
she said, yeah, she's like, I work in the Baxter building.
I was like, oh
well, we're seeing
shit.
Fantastic
Yeah, I
Four
was
in
like,
some
oh
way or
shit,
another.
it's happening. Also, all right, in regards to it being the actor, it could go multiple ways. This could be like, yeah, this is going to be him
I
eventually.
guess we should clarify what we're talking about.
John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic
Right.
in this.
Right.
I could see it in two ways. This is not the version, obviously, that's going to be the MCU version, which is fine.
Right.
As in, like,
We're
but it
full
gets
on spoilers,
yes,
by the way.
This is, but this is from the start. It's already in the logos and stuff. This, it's like, it's not. This is the version that we're seeing here is not going to be the MCU version. It could still be the actor, but this version is not him. Or for all the people that wanted him to be Mr. Fantastic, this is it.
That was it.
That's it. But the one that we'll have won't be.
And what do you think is more likely?
It seems more likely that it'll be the first option where this is not going to be. It's still going to be him as an actor, but this is not the version that we'll be seeing. But
And
I personally, no, I don't care either way because his representation. Here's the thing, though, he was so serious as the character. It was bizarre. He kind of like, I guess I understood it. Nah, it worked. I think it's fine. I think seeing him here, I was like, it's fine.
Because it was definitely that was one of the things we did talk about. Is I was like, if he shows up as Reed, he'll be the bearded, like, Quiet Place John Krasinski, because that's the version you kind of take seriously. But did he end up pulling you out as much as you were expecting?
Not at all. Not at all.
Weren't looking forward to it being
not at all.
him.
Like my main thing is not even about him necessarily. It's just I wish we could just get somebody else. Like let's try some new faces, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, he pulled off the character. Like he was believable as a version of Reed.
Now they very notedly did not show Sue.
Yes, and that's why I'm thinking
they hinted at her. Right. They did not show her.
Right. I did like when Dr.Strange was like, Fantastic Four, isn't that something from like the 60s or something?
Right.
And I was like, that's...
Because it works as a Beatles reference, but also because they are from the 60s.
Yeah, but it's also like, hey, maybe in the MCU, it was something in the 60s again. Like, because, we keep talking about, it's like, it'd be cool if they were actually from the 60s and they were pulled into modern times. Like, they either got lost in like the, the the quantum realm. They got lost in the negative zone, a quantum realm, and that's like the Wasp's mum.
Right.
How she got powers.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was there for that long. Why not the same thing about Miss? Right? Same thing with the Fantastic Four. That's how they got their powers.
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
negative zone is
now,
another version of the universe.
Do you think because he showed up as this, if they keep it where he's the guy, do you think we get Emily Blunt, Sue, or that's too meta?
I think it's almost too meta, dude. And that's
I've heard rumors recently about Bryce Dallas Howard as Sue Storm.
That works too. She's good.
I like her well enough. I would be curious to see.
She's got a good relationship with Disney. She's killing it with directing Star Wars stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd be curious to see if maybe they're talking to her to direct and not to star.
I'll be honest. That I can kind of see more.
Yeah, I think because she's handling the Star Wars stuff so well, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, we got to look at also like all of Disney's camp right now, not just Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're doing a good job in Disney, they're gonna notice that.
Right.
They're gonna notice that.
Like I heard recently, I don't remember where I can't source it properly, but I saw something about how Benedict Cumberbatch originally auditioned to play, I think, the Dark Elf character in Thor 2.
Oh, okay.
Or they originally wanted him for that, and he declined it because he said he wanted to do something meatier, and that's where he eventually landed on Strange when they didn't get Joaquin.
Honestly, I'm glad they went with Benedict, man. He's killing it.
I definitely am. I remember. Yeah. I can recall back to us recording the podcast episodes when they were looking for people, and he was my guy.
Dude,
I was like, pick him.
Before we did it, I bloody drew him as him because I was like, he'd be great. He'd be great.
Yep. I
before
think
he was
might
even
have been
cast.
on the episode that we did.
It was because it was like before he was cast. I'm like, get him. So I was looking at photos of him, like, yeah, this would work.
Yeah.
Nah, he killed.
But
By the
yeah,
way,
I
he
think he
killed
was
it.
a great
He
choice.
did a great
And
job.
don't and I even after everything, can't imagine it being Joaquin. I
No,
think it would have just been a totally different character.
it would have almost thrown me off.
Yeah.
He fit. He fit real well. What'd you think of America?
She's another one where I don't know. I don't know that I have not had as much exposure to her comic book counterpart, so I wasn't like expecting something specific.
Okay, I've had
She was
I've had
fine.
some experience with her comic book counterpart. From what I have read,
Yeah.
her dialogue here is much better.
Much better.
Much better. Her dialogue
Interesting.
in some of the comic is awful. Not her fault. Obviously, she's not a real character. It's the writer's fault. Whoever's writing that thing, awful.
Really?
Awful.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that she's like from a weird future world, so I from my recollection of briefly seeing her in different shit, she kind of has that like Batman Begins thing where they like, have like made up slang from the future or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I know she speaks randomly in Spanish to be like, I'm definitely Latina.
Latinx.
Right.
That's
Exactly. Latinx for the current
Latinx.
folks.
Even though a lot of I know a lot of Latinos who don't even like that term.
Yeah, the
But
only Latinas I know don't like that term, but
yeah, exactly. It's like X. That's not a thing.
yeah, but
Whatever.
it's for those who
Yeah.
are without
Cool.
gender or
But
whatever.
okay, I like the power. The power's sick. The star fists. Pew.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, it's interesting that the star thing happens kind of whether she punches it or not. So it's unclear on whether or not she even needs to punch things or if she can just think it. Because in the scenes like where she gets sucked through the thing when she's like strapped up,
It
she didn't
was
punch
just
anything. It
yeah,
just
yeah.
pops up behind her
I
conveniently.
think the punch is more of an immediate thing.
Right.
Like it's almost like that's the button as opposed to just it opening up because it's like when it opened up behind her and stuff and she got sucked in or when she was a kid and obviously when she's being in danger, it's like it was almost an automatic like a reaction. But with the punch it's like I'm intentionally doing this. I'm intentionally opening this up.
I was thinking about it too because we're gonna be all over the place. I
We are
guess,
all
in
over the
this
place. You
review.
could tell. Whereas I know people found the film. It's like, oh, it's kind of chaotic. It's mad. I'm like, yeah, it's called Multiverse of Madness. It's kind of
Right. It's built in.
yeah, it's in the name.
Um.
Mom,
So I don't know. Yeah.
which
I
what you
liked it.
said, dude. It was
Oh, yeah.
relevant. It was
Yeah, I know.
hella. It was
You know what's
relevant
weird is
as.
after we talked about that, I started seeing other people point it out,
Okay.
and I'm like, I know no one's like watching our shit to see
Yeah.
this, but it's weird to me that no one else had said. I never not heard anyone else
No.
point it out.
No, that was the first time, and it was relevant. It was relevant. Wanda is one of the most powerful things in the entire MCU. I love it.
Do you think that was her swan song, or do you think that was to set up something even bigger with her?
I think it's a set. There's no way this is it.
I don't think you can redeem her is my only thing, and I don't know like what you could do to make her even
I think when
bigger.
if we do see her again, it'll be not a redemption in a way. Like it'll redeem her for the most part, but it's going to be sacrificial.
I kept expecting that to be the case with this one, and I guess they kind of hinted that that's what happened.
Yeah, but I don't think this is. I think it's
you
going to
don't
be for
see a
something
body.
bigger. I think it's got to be for something bigger. Although to be fair, this is pretty big.
Right, for sure. It
This
was
is
nothing to
pretty
slouch on.
big. Yeah. She acted dope. She was great, but we know she's great.
Yeah, she was great. It was cool to see her actually like play scary.
Dude,
Like I loved the scene of kind of after all the shit goes down and the Illuminati shit, and she's like running around the halls barefoot, and there's like hobbling or whatever, like a creature.
dude, this is
I
a
thought
straight
those
up
scenes
Sam
were great.
Raimi horror film, and I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I
I
mean, I did see a lot of
loved it.
people complaining about this one. I don't know, like I heard a lot of people saying like the dialogue was extra fucking corn or whatever,
Dude,
but
it's Sam Raimi. This was I ate this up.
Yeah, I had a great
I
time
had a
with it.
ball. There was like the way it was filmed. Like there's certain scenes where it's the camera's just doing this,
Right.
just moving around. I was like,
Right.
oh, I love this. Like when she broke out of the mirror first time, I'm like, that's straight
Yeah.
up Army of Darkness type stuff, man.
Yeah, it felt like the
Yeah.
Ring or whatever. She was
Yeah.
like coming out all fucking
Oh,
crooked
so
and shit.
good. I was like, I've wanted this. I've wanted this so much. I'm so glad Sam Raimi's doing a horror film in MCU.
I've heard a lot of complaints though that because it was called Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah.
that people were upset that there weren't enough multiverses. Like we only spent time in 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Didn't bother you?
No, not at all. And the reason why it didn't bother me was it's called Multiverse of Madness. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We jumped into, like, most of the film took place in a majority of another world, technically.
Right.
That's another multiverse already. We know of now the existence of even more. We saw the destruction of a couple. So it's called Multiverse of Madness. But the thing is also, that's the thing that I keep bringing up in various conversations. I'm like, it's still a Doctor Strange movie. He has to be the focus still. You can't just rely on. You can't expect. I think people's expectations were definitely far exceeded what they really should have. Like including the cameos and stuff too. I heard people wanted more cameos. I like how you got a cat camera. That's awesome. I just noticed that now. It's awesome.
I forgot it was on.
No, that's great. I love it. This is brilliant. But yeah, like what people were like, oh, I kind of want to see more cameos. I'm like, so to take away, like, wait, you didn't get enough? Are you insane? Like we got Black Bolt, we got Mr. Fantastic,
Right.
we got bloody the X-Men theme song.
Right, the 97 cartoon.
You're
theme.
insane. You wanted more. What? So I don't want a film just of cameos. It's still, again, a Doctor Strange film with the focus of mom.
That's why to me it was fine because
Yeah.
they kept the focus on Doctor
Yes.
Strange and people have to keep in mind this has to lead somewhere.
Exactly.
And so if you want to see the big dump of every character you've ever seen,
We'll get
you got to
that.
get to that point.
Yes.
This was a toe in the pool,
Yes.
And WandaVision was just them showing us that there was a pool at all.
And same
so
same
now
as
we've got
same
a
as
toe in-
Loki.
Right, same as Loki. But Loki was still
Yeah. It was still focused on
Loki-
him, though. That's the thing as well.
because
Yeah.
it was focused on him. They weren't really talking about the
No.
universes these other characters came from. They were just talking about the character himself.
Yes.
And so I think that once we start, now that we've dipped our toe, we're leading to whatever the next Avengers thing is. And the big Avengers thing to me has to be Civil War, or not Civil War, Secret Wars. Because they've set up the incursions thing. They said it like 400 fucking times in Doctor Strange, so that we know the incursions are coming. And that's the big thing with Secret Wars, is they're battling it out to find out which Earth survives. But normally, that is, like, even though there's, in some versions of Secret Wars, they're pulling, like, for example, if you watch the Spider-Man version of Secret Wars, he pulls other characters from his universe, but then he has a storyline where he faces off against Spider-Man from other universes. I think this Secret Wars thing is gonna pull from the other shit we've seen. Like I think there's a large possibility we get some new version of the main Avengers team that is going to, like, maybe like that cartoon version is going to be recruited by someone, maybe Spider-Man or something like that, where he's got to pick a team. Like, these are my guys. But there's got to be an opposing side, and I think that's when if you're gonna do like
The cameos and
something
stuff.
big, I feel like you do our universe versus the Fox universe or something like that, where you're like, okay, the X-Men exist here, and maybe Affleck, Daredevil, or some other characters you can throw in without it conflicting too much. Like, we don't know that Daredevil didn't exist in the X-Men universe because they don't really talk about the universe at large.
I mean, there's a possibility. Like we know that the stuff that's on Disney Plus as far as cartoons go, it is to an extent now linked to the greater MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the What If. That new Spider-Man show where it's the prequel.
Right.
Also, X-Men 97. That can essentially link.
True.
If this is what the Secret Wars thing is, who's to say you can't pull from them where they become from a cartoon reality to an actual physical
Do you think
live
they
action reality?
Do you think they keep them? No, I guess they'd have to translate them into real.
That's what I mean.
They just showed.
That's what I mean. Like translate them into real, like what they did with Captain Carter. It was just presented that way because it was presented that way.
But do you think
that's not
that
the same Captain Carter? No, it's not the same.
That's
Captain
what I'm
Carter.
saying. I don't
No.
know if it was supposed to be.
No, because we know Captain Carter survives. In the end of What If, she's still alive. It can't be the same one.
Yeah, but the end of What If was like her waking up where Steve woke up.
Right, that's true. That would suck if it is her. But also,
it would suck because that means that there's like a bunch of time we missed,
Right.
but at the same time, we didn't even know she existed until
exactly. But it's also cool as well because it's like, there's no way that's the only time Sharon Carter became Captain Carter.
Peggy, but yeah,
Peggy, yeah, it's right, Peggy. My bad. There's no way that's the only time Peggy became her.
Right, and presumably it's not. I am very curious how that kind of stuff works.
Right.
Like, also they didn't show the like seventh chair. There was a seventh member that they didn't show, and so I wonder if that was either supposed to be the Tom Cruise thing that we didn't get. That one of the writers actually came out and said that was one of their goals, is they wanted to try and get him, and it just didn't work out because of the scheduling stuff with like
Would have been cool,
Mission
but
Impossible.
honestly, I'm so fine with what we presented with, man.
Yeah, I'm fine with what we got.
Yeah.
I feel like it was either gonna be like a version of Tony Stark or a version of like T'Challa or something, and we couldn't get that because he's gone. And like it might have been spoilery to be like show Shuri and be like she's Black Panther here, so I could imagine it was some version of him. Also, like I've seen people being like, okay, well, how does the Ultron shit work? Because the Ultron bots were there, but there's no Tony to make him. Also, think it could have been cool to show like a Hank Pym there because
Hank Pym would have been
Ultron
cooler,
bots from the
actually.
books. But I did notice the Ultron bots yellow eyes.
Yeah.
So to me, that implies the Mind Stone was
Right.
powering the rest of the Ultron bots and never went to a Vision.
Right.
So I wonder what that means for Wanda because they never show who Daddy is.
That's always That's always the
twin.
question. Is like, who's Daddy? Like, I think somebody was asking it before, and I'm like, when that actual question becomes relevant enough for them to actually answer, we'll probably get it.
There's no answer in the
Of course.
books.
Yeah,
I
there
think
isn't
that's why
either.
people are like, well, who the fuck do they pick? Because the answer in the books is she created them from like a shard of Mephisto or something like that. And so like they're not doing that because they already did the she created them and they did it out of her own magic and they don't bother with the Mephisto part of it. So it's kind of weird. To me, that was a weird inclusion for them to say, my kids exist in every universe except for this one. Because then when she scares the two kids, just go to a different one. They exist in every universe.
Right.
There's
But
gotta
to be
at
fair,
least
that was
one
supposed to be
universe
her
where-
waking up realizing, this is a bad way to go about doing this.
which I get, but at the same time, her problem, if she's that far gone, then she'll just be like, I'll just find a universe where I'm already dead and my kids are in an orphanage and they need someone to take care. Just they already set up that like we have infinite possibilities.
But she was so focused.
I liked the movie for what it was.
I think she was so focused on that one though. That's kind of the that was her.
It
Well,
was even-
because she's like, I mean, when you think about it, Wanda is kind of out of her mind at this point. She's not really thinking logically or straight. So her focus was so on this that it's that whole idea of her going, oh yeah, what about just look for a universe where they're orphan kids and I can raise them. That didn't even cross her mind. at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird to me that she just even went back to the same Wanda twice.
Yeah.
Like when she goes the first time and sees the kids, that she goes, "Well, I'm going back to that same one because I found one where there's kids here."
I
Like,
think it was just
why?
a straight connection, man. It was just her connection instantly with it.
Yeah,
It's
but
hard to like. It was all
and but
emotional based.
and it happened to be the universe where the Illuminati
Right.
were. That was the part that was strange to me as well. Like that part that seemed out of convenience,
Well,
just so she could possess her and then
right.
go fly there.
The thing
Like
about
if that was the case, don't even they should have had her fly to a universe where the kids
right,
didn't even exist.
right, and then realize
She
like
just took over any
yeah,
Wanda
right.
and had her go there.
Maybe that was actually in the writing, like to begin with. Like that's an actual scene.
That's
that,
very true.
that-
We
you know
don't
what I
know
mean?
because there's 40 minutes of shit
Right.
missing,
And
and they said that they shoved a bunch of reshoot stuff
the
in there.
whole
So
the whole like idea of like it's a little convenient. I let that slide these days because I'm just like, there's gonna be conveniences. Unfortunately, it's
for
still
sure,
it's a
that's
movie.
every
They have
movie.
to they have to contain it within this thing. It's like they don't have everything. Television has these conveniences. It's just because it's very not real life, and I'm like, yeah, I get
For
it.
sure.
Yeah,
I think the reason it stuck out to me, that part of it, is because they just gave us 6 hours of
yeah,
care about Vision,
yeah. Right. There's no
and
mention of
then
Vision. That's kind of like
don't even come up.
that's my question in regards to like. But again, remember how like last episode we talked about Kevin Feige and the Marvel guys just plotted out the next 10 years. There's no fucking way that there's no Vision within this next thing. We know he's in there somewhere, and
Agreed.
there's
But
a greater
also,
plan for
this
a lot of
movie
these
happened
characters.
before that 10-year
Yeah,
meeting happened.
that's what I mean. And so they have to look at everything. Like they have to like that 10-year meeting thing as well. They looked at the outcome of Black Widow, of Eternals, of the Disney Plus shows. They looked at a lot of the stuff that people, how it was received, what people liked about them. Those things are fully under
Here's the thing
consideration
that
when they were
scares
talking
me.
about it.
Here's the thing that scares me. The 10-year plan led to Infinity War. That's 10 years of movies to Infinity War.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
we setting up 10 years of movies to Secret Wars? Because that's
I
a
don't think
long
so.
fucking time to wait.
I think the 10-year plan is more so. I think they've learnt better from the first one because it was a big task, you know. They had to introduce a lot more back then with everybody, with all the films set up. I think this 10 years, if anything, I think the Secret Wars thing, if that's gonna happen, it'll probably happen midway. Because you don't want to, like, we're moving quickly now.
It feels like that. That's why I'm
Yeah,
confused.
yeah.
Like, I can't
That's why
imagine that it's going to
and
take
also
us 10
I don't
years.
think it's going to take us 10 years because now there's the addition of the television stuff. That thing increases the speed of movement way quicker. Like the films are more like tentpole stuff. The television is the things that are going to progress us quicker.
Right.
So like, all right, we got Ms. Marvel out next month. A film. Then the month after that we have Thor.
Yeah.
Then
Which now I don't know how even that's going to go because I thought for sure something at the end of this
would lead to that.
multiverse thing
Yeah.
would lead to the Miss Marvel, because I was like, she'll say some version of the No More Mutants thing, and then that's how we get Inhumans now showing up.
I'm real curious about like
Now I don't even. I was like, oh, but they're gonna make her a mutant. They're not gonna bother
Yeah.
with the Inhumans thing. She'll say mutants or something, and then they'll do the opposite. But they didn't do that.
No. And plus we got an
showed
Inhuman.
Black Bolt.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, they
But also,
showed fucking Black Bolt.
I'm glad. I'm so glad they got the guy who actually played Black Bolt in that dumb
Yes.
television show.
I'm glad it was him and not Vin Diesel.
Dude, my gosh. Oh,
Although I do think that there was some in-game suits situations happening. Like, I don't think that Fantastic Four suit or that Black Bolt suit really existed. I think both of those were CGI.
yeah.
Which is fine. They
That's
looked
fine.
good.
Yeah, they look cool.
The
Actually.
Black Bolt suit only looked like a CGI suit to me in the scene where they landed and he like flew down and landed. And I was like, oh yeah, that's that. They didn't make that suit.
But
for
it
real.
looked. I'm like, I was all smiles watching.
Yeah, I was
scene.
just stoked to see the
Because I'm
real
like,
Black
I
Bolt
can't
show up.
believe, like, I'm so glad we're getting this. This is so cool. Like, this is
Yeah.
rad. Professor X's chair is huge.
Professor X what?
His chair.
Oh, his chair. Yeah,
It's
it's
so
ginormous.
big. Like when he's got his hand on his lap, it's behind. It's like tucked behind it, you know?
Right.
It's not just
But
like
that's
sitting on
that's how it was.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
get it.
was?
I get it. That
It's
was
like a
rad.
tiny car.
It was so cool just seeing all that. Like I was like, this is when people complain about the cameras, I was like, this how dude, look what we're getting here. This is insane.
Yeah, I loved that fight of Wanda showing up to face the Illuminati was my favorite thing.
Like all right, her, like when people were asking her versus Captain Marvel. Yeah, no, she can.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that was kind of clear
Yeah.
in game.
Yeah, no, it was.
She was the only one that was like, I could take Thanos on by myself. I'm about to kill him.
And she almost did if she wasn't emotional.
It wasn't even that. It was he called down the spaceship, blast all the missiles at them or whatever, because she was crushing him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was actually she was destroying him like he was nothing.
Yeah, and I was like, somebody was telling me Wanda, like, I like Wanda now, but she used to be weak and boring. I was like, Wanda started out badass. She pulled Ultron's heart out and showed it to him.
Yeah, like that is hardcore. She's been the most hardcore. She's actually one of the most
triggered by grief.
She's just one of the most, she's actually one of the most powerful things that we've ever seen. It's just, we've never really seen the potential. And I'm glad this film showed it.
Yeah, like
she obliterated every single one of them.
Exactly. For the grief of her brother, she killed Ultron.
Yes.
For the grief of her husband, she created a world.
Yeah, she created.
For the grief of her kids, she destroyed an Avengers team.
Basically,
she's very strong.
Yeah, she's powerful as not just an Avengers team. Like we're talking about the Illuminati, essentially the Avengers team at their peak forms, really, when you think
it's all the smartest dudes.
The smartest for the most part, yeah.
It's actually, not necessarily all the most powerful dudes, but it's all the like leaders. Like
in
the
saying that though,
and...
they are very powerful.
They are, but
yes,
not as smart as I would have expected in this one. They're pretty dismissive of the Wanda thing. Right. They're like, yeah, that's your witch shows up, we got it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's why when during that whole scene when they were talking about, it's like, we can handle it, we can take it. I was like, oh, you don't know, do you?
Right. Like, I get that Captain Marvel as a character is cocky because she's very powerful.
Yeah. Oh, she was not prepared.
You just said a witch. What are you talking about? Well, just handle a witch. Yeah. Like, you don't know what you're even talking about.
And that's why I think, I was like, that world doesn't actually have Wanda as Wanda.
But we don't know what Wanda does in that world.
But that's the thing.
We have no idea.
She was it just seemed like she was just...
She still had her powers,
right,
though,
she did.
She took over a body that had the powers.
Right. She's just a mom. Because, like, you know how they were saying, it's like, Wanda's linked everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, same as Dr.Strange.
I think it was the Nexus point thing means that there is a version of her in every universe. Not that there's only one, but there is a version of her in every universe.
Right. But... it was like, you were not prepared. How do you prepare for that? It's cool that they showed Black Bolt's
go head to the magic book that we said is here.
Yeah.
Go head to that because we've got a scary... Like, if anyone should have been like, okay, yeah, I'm doing it, Mordo.
That's the part that was weird to me. I'm like, bro, you know magic. How do you not at least consider...
Yeah, he knows of the Darkhold, so the Darkhold had a page with Wanda's fucking picture on it. You know, figure it out.
That's the part that was weird.
At least have one of them take it seriously.
Right. Well, Professor X did kind of in the end.
In the end, he showed up and at the very end tried to be like, okay, now
because when he went to his mind, he's like, oh yeah, she's actually trouble. Right. But at that point, it's like, oh no. I've just locked myself in a head.
I did like that scene though because that like void space, the white and the like him very walking around with the turtleneck on. That's very comics.
Yeah, very cool. I love that whole. This film was sick. That whole shot, how it was shot and stuff. The fight scene, you're right, was dope because like we got to see him in action. You know, like
got to see Strange in a like fisticuffs. Him and Mordo
that
didn't
was
have
great.
Powers, so they had to just beat each other.
That was surprisingly cooler than I was expecting.
You got because you can't forget that in Carmartage they're learning martial arts,
which they did show as well.
It's just magic based,
exactly. And I'm like, this is sick. This is sick. But like seeing Wanda fight all the different powered beings. Like it's I'm glad they showed Black Bolt show his ability when he disintegrated
Kill
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Right, because otherwise we wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, like
He just would have blown his own head up, and then you're good.
right. That's also having a conversation with folks. Some people thought this film, man, should have been rated R, and I'm like, no. I think it went through the ratings board, and it basically they went to the peak of how far they could go.
I think
Because they didn't show anything.
They kept the deaths of the other Avengers characters non-bloody. I think that's really
why.
what did it.
Exactly. It was brutal.
Because they cut someone in half, but they didn't show any blood.
But they were
You know.
brutal deaths. But
Right.
they didn't show any blood, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Even the, like, you know, the Mr. Fantastic having him turn into noodles and then just pop his head.
I love
There was no
that.
blood. It was just light pop.
I love that because she basically just dismantled him.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's cruel. Mm-hmm. And the like the Captain Marvel one was just, I'm gonna physically.
She's the only one I'm like, I'm not even convinced she's dead though. She just dropped a statue on her.
But hers was like, I'm gonna like that one was funny to me. Like I was thinking about that fight because it's like, she basically beat her, not just using abilities, but she physically beat her.
Right, she went hand in hand
because she was like,
it was still using powers.
Yeah,
but,
we used powers,
they
but
went fisticuffs
But
on that.
I like that because it's almost like, because you know how Captain Marvel was, again, like we were saying, she's arrogant because she knows she's powerful.
Right.
She basically fought her to her level and showed her, you're actually not powerful. I'm taking you down. Like, you can try use your abilities to me, they're nothing. I'm going to take you down to the physical level, which you are still weaker than me.
Right, but I think that
she got it fell on her.
Difference
Died. She
comes
died.
from, I'm gonna shoot you with lasers.
Yeah.
Instead of just punch you in the chest.
Yeah.
Because if she punches Wanda in the chest, that fight is over.
Right, but she didn't even get to it. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't even attempt.
Exactly.
There's no physical punching attempted. Just, I'm gonna shoot you with my pew-pews, even though you've got magic. What am I pew-pewing you for?
Not very, but see, because she relied so much on her, I'm powerful as.
Yeah, they made they did a good job of making the Illuminati feel very arrogant. I just think that they also should have shown. I guess they kind of tried to. They should have shown that is effective, because they tried to show that with the Thanos fight, but that only opened more questions to me, because they finished Thanos on Titan, but then they killed Dr. Strange because he confessed to obliterating another universe basically to win this fight. But when Doctor Strange searched the timeline or whatever for any possibility version that they win, he searched 14 billion or whatever and found one. But there's at least another one where you kill him on Titan, and it's even easier. You get to skip. You make Earth into a utopia.
I think the difference there, though, is that on that alternate reality, it didn't have the people that existed in his reality.
As far as what? What do you mean?
As in the people that defeated him in that version, in that universe, they weren't the people that you had in yours. That's why that's a factor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just to me, that opens up the possibility of there should be more than one way to beat this guy if there's already just another one.
Right. Well,
and all you had to do is obliterate another fucking universe to do it.
But then, like, the whole question of, like, in the end, does it matter when you've got, what was opened up in, like, Loki with the whole beyond the universe type thing, where it's like that null plane, you know what I mean? Like, it almost like nothing mattered in there, and you're like, oh, so the whole stones are like, they mean nothing.
Right.
So that's why
it makes me curious about that. The area they showed that had the Book of Ashanti, they said was like a space between worlds, and I'm curious if that's where, like, the TVA exists.
Kang,
because it didn't nullify anyone else's powers, so that has to be something specific to the TVA. Still not sure how that works.
I'm sure they'll have
Kang.
answers for this, or they'll
Right.
retcon it somewhere, or it's like that's a pocket, that's another pocket thing.
Right. And if, to be honest, and if they don't, they don't, because
Yeah.
that's just how comics have worked for all of time.
And I'm glad both of us read comics to understand that, but it's obviously going to be more difficult for people who just watch movies and television, where it's like, but this is not explained, and I'm like, it's comics. Like, you have
It's
a
like,
history of comics.
it's 13
You can't-
movies at this point. Some of the stuff isn't gonna Lego
the fact that
perfectly
a
together.
majority of it link up is a blessing.
Yeah. Because you see what happens when they don't, like Morpheus and Morbius and fucking
Morbius
Venom.
and any of the and Venom and the Sony stuff when it's not
Yeah.
handled by Marvel
Right.
or Fox.
It's so
Yeah.
shameful how quickly they put out just garbage if they're
Dude.
on their own, left to their own devices.
Sony need to bloody stop. What's
But they're
that?
not
What's
gonna.
that? What's that? L something?
El Muerto,
Whatever it is. That's the
Yeah.
dumb.
the Bad Bunny one. Yeah.
I hate it.
And that Madam Web thing is apparently still coming with Dakota Johnson or whatever.
That one.
That was another thing we didn't talk about, but on the DC side, because things are getting ruffled around.
Oh,
It's not
Flash.
just the shows. Say what?
Flash.
Yeah, Flash is getting a shorter season, but also they canceled the Wonder Twins movie. There was a Wonder Twins movie
I'll be
happening
honest,
where they actually
I
they
didn't
cast
know.
people and stuff.
Really? I didn't know that. was
Yeah,
gonna
I guess they were
happen.
properly starting it, and that
Wow.
got canceled. So there's another DC property gone. Not that I don't think anyone was fucking gearing up.
I'm
for a
sure.
Wonder Twins.
I know people who are big fans of Wonder Twins.
Who people that are fans of.
I
Wonder
know
Twins.
one. I have my old comic, the old comic shop I used to go to. One of the guys who worked there loves Wonder Twins. There's
Well,
one.
that's one. That's one.
There's one, baby. All right, that exists.
Well, I guess you got one friend to break the news to.
Well, I'm sure he might be like, "What? They're making it." Maybe.
Right. Well, they were.
Yeah. That seems like
so-
random.
What did you think of first post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene?
Cool. They got Charlize
Did that-
now.
Yeah, I was always wondering where she was gonna fit in. She was my pick for Captain Marvel when they were doing those movies.
I could see her also
I'm
as
glad-
invisible, but not anymore, obviously.
Right. I think it'd be tough now because
Yeah,
I think she's got some years on Krasinski probably,
yeah.
but
That's if
but
they're
yeah,
gonna
I think
go
it's
for an
great
older
that
one.
she's it's great that she's in the universe at
Love
all.
it, love
and
it.
the fact that she's going to be like Clea is cool.
Yeah.
I've only read literally one comic ever with Clea in it.
Yeah.
But I know that she's the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the niece of Dormammu.
That's
But I
tight.
guess I've heard right now, and this is way after I've seen her, that she is now the current Sorcerer Supreme of Earth because Doctor Strange is
in
dead.
the current comic, she is.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
kind of like we really need to look at what they're attempting in comics these days because it's like comics are a testing ground to see what they're gonna do.
That's the shit we're gonna see
Yes.
6 to 8 years
Yeah,
from
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And sooner and sooner they're starting to get into that. They're doing Kamala, they did America Chavez, and those characters are only a few years fucking old anyway.
Yep. That's why I'm like, this is cool. In a way,
Yeah.
we can, I'm glad. I'm glad they got her. Great actress. It's going to be a meaty role now, I guess, because now she's more of a relevant character within the comic universe.
She's a stronger love interest for Strange than
Way
Rachel.
stronger. Way stronger.
So,
Way stronger. Rachel was great in this film, though, by the way.
yeah, I also heard out of the stuff they cut, there was supposed to be a third version of her. I'm not sure how it would have fit in,
Okay.
but there was supposed to be a third Rachel that we didn't get to meet.
Okay. I'd
So
love to
I'm
see
very-
an
very
uncut version.
curious
I'd love
where
to see
that
the
would-
deleted scenes and whatnot of this.
Right. I'm curious where that one would have fit in. If it would have been like a Christine in the Incursion universe with three-eyed Evil Strange.
Yeah. Cool. Evil Strange
I'm
was
really
pretty
curious.
sick.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
I was expecting that Strange, though, to be the Strange from What If, and it was not.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't, though, because that Strange
Yeah.
is
He should be trapped.
also trapped, but super powerful. Like that Strange is kind of like, it's like, you know, Jet Li's the one. He's kind of got everything in him, kind of. So
Do you think that we lead to something like that with Three Eye Strange that we have in the movies now?
I think it'll get closer to that. I don't know if it's going to get to that point. Hopefully not, because that one seems way powerful. But the 301 is sick, I think.
I wonder if they're gonna sort of phase him out like they did Tony Stark. Like they'll give him like one big arc where he can kind of go out.
Strange?
And then yeah,
it could work.
because like right now he's kind of magic Tony Stark, as far as like I'm the sardonic one and I might pop up in your movie here and pop up in this movie here. So I feel like he kind of works the same. I just wonder with Tony, it was real clear. Like he was self-centered, and by the end, he learns to be selfless. I don't know what Doctor Strange's arc is fully, other than like learning to trust someone else to take the reins, I guess, because they really beat home in this one. Like you've always got to be the one to hold the knife.
I liked it though. I think it was good. Like it showed his growth, because it's like, and you also got to see it through the way America saw him, the character of Strange, you know,
right.
where it's like
she
didn't trust.
He's different.
Yeah, she didn't trust it, and so they didn't trust him at the start. Like Defender Strange, you know, he did like while he did try to take her ability, in the end he did kind of push her through. You know, so he wasn't complete. Like he slipped up, I suppose. You know, it's a pretty major slip up. He tried to take her ability, and he's like, you know what, I'm about to die. You're about to die. Let's just get you through. I like that. You know, that whole his body went through, and they used that. That was sick. Super
it was good writing.
That was great. Sam Raimi
payoff in the end.
Yeah, it was a great payoff, because I'm like, that's awesome. It wasn't just like, this is weird. There's a dead Strange now. We're gonna bury him inside on the roof. So it was so like, oh, this is Sam Raimi fully, you know.
The one thing that was weird to me about that one design wise is once he's a zombie for some reason, goatee's gone.
Well, his face was kind of just mangled.
It was, but he still had hair, and he still had eyebrows.
Yeah, he had no mustache though. He had the beard. He had a bit of the beard.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he's like clean shaven, but it's all like mutilated, but he's clean shaven.
Well, I don't know.
And to me, that was just like, I'm sure part of that is the practicality of the makeup, but that was just an odd thing to me. I was like, why did his goatee fall off?
I guess so you could see the mutilation thing more.
Or I really think it was.
It's most likely
just so we can show it being grodier.
Either way, looks sick. I love
that scene.
I love the freaking hands.
The death
wings.
cave was great.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, that is sick. Yeah. That is sick.
Like, and I remember talking about that when we saw the first trailer.
Yeah.
That I was saying, it looks like he's fighting those ghost things.
Which you're right. He was.
Right.
But he was
so
like,
I gotta figure out why he's fighting those things.
It's like, control it.
Ended up being him trying to rein him in.
That was sick. I'm like, this is rad. That's rad. I'm like, they need to make that in a figure form. I don't know how, but it'd be sick.
Now, with Agatha and the House of Harkness, or whatever it's fucking called, do you think we see a return of Scarlet Witch?
That's a possibility because of that. Maybe that's their loop. That's their window to Wanda returning proper. It's because of Agatha.
And I think the thing that Agatha, other than being connected to the magic shit, the thing that she's most famous for is being like a nanny character to
the kids,
Reed Richards' kids. So now that we've seen Reed Richards and he's established that he has children, do we get introduced to a version of him that has kids so they can connect it to this House of Harkness thing?
I don't know, man. That's I don't know what Marvel are planning. They have obviously the thing about the Marvel television and movies is that they have their pick of whatever stories have existed throughout the comic book history, and also the option to make up or mash up a bunch of stories that already existed. So who knows what they'll be pulling from? Who knows what they'll be mixing together? Who knows what other ideas they can come up with based even loosely on something that already happened before? I don't know. Like, it's like
it's just so strange because we have all that, like, we have the Halloween special coming out, the Werewolf by Night, and
okay.
And we've still got some version of Blade on the way. They've now set up Moonknight. They could be setting up some version of the Midnight Suns.
I'd love Ghost Rider. Give me the one and give me Robbie again.
Now, do you think they would bring him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Now that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. may be potentially canon and the show's canon from Netflix and shit?
But see, we say canon, but is it like canon in MCU or could
it's
it be
not canon like
or canon
the stories,
is in like
but canon like the actor?
I'll take it.
Like
he's
Charlie
cool.
Cox is Daredevil, but he's not the same Daredevil.
I'm cool with that. That guy was great.
You know, yeah,
that guy was great.
I can't wait to see whatever the fuck the redesign for the Daredevil suit is.
Soon,
I want to see
hopefully
that.
Hopefully it was part of the discussion with this 10-year thing.
I saw an interview with Charlie Cox where it was post Far From Home coming out. No Way Home coming out.
Yeah.
And he said he was like, I can't say much and I don't know much, but I do know there is more coming.
Nice. That's all I want. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
So that's all I needed. Just knowing that there's more Daredevil on the way, that makes me excited because he's one of my favorite things about the current MCU.
Yeah.
So
Marvel within this past decade. Right. I know it was Netflix originally, but he was one of the best things Marvel related.
Right.
Including MCU
and
stuff,
he had the best of the Netflix shows, and I liked all the Netflix shows.
Yeah. He had the strongest of all the Netflix shows. I know someone was saying Punisher, and I'm like, Punisher wouldn't be that if it wasn't for his appearance.
Punisher was great,
it was
but
great.
I don't think it touches Daredevil. I don't think Punisher touches Punisher on Daredevil.
That's what I'm saying. Punisher on Daredevil was better than Punisher in Punisher.
Yeah, and his show was good.
Yeah, his show was good, but Daredevil was...
Daredevil's next level, dude. Woo. And they even right before it ended gave us a little taste of Bullseye, so they could come back swinging. I think the speculation right now is that he's going to show up in She-Hulk.
Also, that version, the Netflix version of Bullseye, that was great.
He was dope.
Yeah,
he was dope. We didn't get to see a Bullseye suit, but the character was dope.
His character, that actor pulled it off well. Like he was I'm like, this guy is a threat.
Yeah, and he was the most compelling version of Bullseye I've ever seen. And I've seen him in plenty books and in the movie. And this was my favorite version.
Let's not mention the movie version.
Right. Well, that guy's Penguin now, so.
And he killed it as Penguin.
Yep.
So who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
But yeah, lots of great shit on the way from Marvel, man. Thor's around the corner.
I love Dr.Strange too.
I loved it as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite MCU movie.
No.
But it did give me some excellent moments, and it was probably my favorite. It was probably my favorite movie going experience.
In a while.
In quite a while, because this one I got to go back, and there was like crowds there and stuff. People reacted to shit. It was a different experience.
To me, this is on the level of No Way Home for me, because I caught No Way Home with a crowd without spoilers.
Right, I didn't get any of that. So
it plays a part. Like, I'm looking forward to peeping Thor like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I saw the teaser. I'm gonna go in cold for all these films. I'm just gonna see the teaser and that's it.
I wish I could do that.
I'm gonna, because the thing is, I had such a good time. Like, I limited what I'd seen from Spider-Man No Way Home. Paid off. I really limited what I'd seen from this, and it greatly paid off. So I'm gonna try and maintain that, where I'm just gonna watch the teaser. I'll obviously have conversations about possible speculations based on the teaser and stuff, because they do show some stuff in the teaser, and we have thoughts still regarding that. You know what I mean? We can still speculate based on the teaser, especially because they'll change stuff on the teaser than what they actually have in the movie. But I'm gonna do that.
And if you avoid any more trailers for Thor, then you're gonna
Oh,
be
I
in a
am.
very different position because you're not even gonna see the villain until
No.
you see the movie.
And that's why I love it. I can't wait. That film, well, that's July, right? What was July?
Yeah, that one's July.
Okay. Because I was like, all right, I'd like to see at least this. I'll film a month in the cinema. I think next month is going to be Jurassic World.
I forgot that was even
Yeah.
a thing.
I caught this. I saw the teaser when I was watching. I saw the trailer. I think it's teaser or a trailer. I don't know. With Doctor Strange, I was like, yeah, this is cinema. It's a cinema film. It's got to be.
Were any shits given from you for Avatar 2?
I'm gonna watch it in the cinema.
But were shits given?
Not really, but I'm gonna watch it in the cinema because it looks like it needs to be seen. And the problem with my shits given with Avatar is that it's Avatar. I don't know. Like we've waited like it's been a long time since that first Avatar flick.
Like 13 years or something.
That sounds crazy. But I'm curious. I'm more curious than I have more curiosity than I have shits for it.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. Nothing that I saw looked bad.
No, that's my thing. Like it's also James Cameron. I'm like, it's gonna look visually fantastic. He knows what he's doing with the camera.
You know what I'm excited to see?
What's up?
The dude from the first one that was like Proto Cable.
His return.
Yeah, I know he's in more of these movies. And
But you want to see how?
Yeah, from the little bit of the plot that they showed in the trailer for this, it looks like more of the army side are using the Blue Cat avatars. So I wonder if they give him his own Blue Cat.
He's
and
gonna
if
be.
they do, I want to see his Blue Cat
Right.
because the other people's Blue Cats look like them. Sigourney Weaver's looked like them.
So you want to see Blue Cat Cable?
I do. I want to see
Alright,
what the
there you
fuck
go.
that looks like.
Then
with
there
his,
you
like,
go. Now there's
little
something
flat
to.
top and shit.
Even if you got some slight thing, he's got a flat top, but he's got his long rat tail.
Right.
He's
So he can USB fuck his animals or
There
whatever.
you go.
That
You
weird
can
movie
link
setup.
up. Yeah, you can electrically link up to your animals. Well, in this case, sea creatures. You see that shit? How he's like surfing the
Right. There,
the
it's all
water.
the way of water.
way of water. Yeah.
So
There you go. Now you have something to anticipate in an avatar. There's a little bit of shits to give in there.
right. My thing is, I might have a little bit of shits given, but they said they're gonna do 7 of these.
Wait. No. Did you say 7? Wait, is this
Yeah.
Police Academy? Is that what we're doing with this?
Basically, because he said he like recorded, or I think they filmed a bunch of it,
Okay.
like back to back to
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And
He
then
filmed
just
all of it, he
working on
said.
the CG.
He said he filmed
Right.
all of it. Like, it's basically
Right.
done now. It's just everything that within the past few years is just it's post. Everything is going to be in, but every actual thing is filmed. All the mocap stuff is filmed.
But now these movies have to come out in much shorter windows.
Well, I
because
think-
you can't make 7 of these with
No.
13-year gaps.
I think, no, I don't think the gap's going to be big anymore, though, because I think they've been making a lot of them side by side. With the first one, like almost like in a domino effect, like or a canon effect, where as they're making, say, movie 5, 2 is already done, almost done, 3 is in like halfway, 4 is just starting. You know what I mean? Like they're almost making them in conjunction with each other, and they're just releasing it as they're being done.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, because I thought they're being
that's what it
released like
seems
on a
would
yearly
have to
basis
be
at
the
this
case.
point, right?
Stagger them.
Yeah. I'll watch
see.
it. Hey, at least at this point, it's like cool. I know what I'm gonna watch every December for the next 7 years.
You're gonna get a SH Navi.
Hey, if they make one, that'd be tight. I don't have.
Imagine, but if it's 6 inches and it
No. As in like 1/12 scale, so it'd be like 9 inches.
But it's still
tall.
like a 9-inch figure though.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll have it like, I don't know, do a Spider-Man swing or some shit on it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, if SH make one, I'll look at it. Shit.
you get import Navi.
Yeah, I'll get an import.
Have they
Navi.
made any figures for Avatar?
They have a Hot Toys of Jake. They didn't make one of the Terry.
Did it look?
They made a statue.
Shit?
No, the Hot Toys looks fucking awesome. It's tall as fuck. You should look at it. I like this. I like the sketches. It's fun. This is fun. It's like a nice little break every now and then while we're talking.
Oh yeah, he does. I was expecting the military clothes for some reason.
It looks good, dude. It looks
He
good.
is massive. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
is he like properly in scale? But he
Yeah.
is massive.
He's 1/6 scale.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because they're like, what, supposedly 9 feet tall, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
But no, I was like,
interesting.
yeah, they never made Nateri, but they'll probably make her now.
Oh yeah, they got lots to go off of now, and
They
all
got-
this shit is like way bigger deal than when the first one came
Yeah.
out.
Could you
The
imagine
import
like some of the
figure market.
animals that they'll do?
The animals look crazy.
Yeah,
in the
I
new
love the designs, man. That's why I'm like, nah, man, pull me into some your crazy alien world. I'm ready.
You know, if they had done an import version of Mysterio, I probably would have got it.
I think as a figure it would be cool. It would have been great.
I really liked his MCU
design.
update.
Would you not have
that
made
one-
like? Would you not have purchased Vulture? Import Vulture?
No,
No.
because I don't. I don't care about the character enough, but the design is very, just kind of like a military test pilot.
What of the MCU that they've not made imports of that you would be interested if they had made? Of any of the MCU stuff
Well,
right now.
Vision for sure.
White Vision or Regs?
Either one. If they just made like a sick import of it, either one. I've just
You saw the
always loved
SH one,
Vision.
right?
I think I've seen it, but it just didn't look great.
Right, okay. The cape looks fantastic on that thing.
Who else out of the MCU? Maybe like, I remember wanting an Ultron, and I know they tried to make some, but I just didn't
The
like how they
SH wasn't
looked.
good.
Yeah.
The Revoltech one was actually better.
Who else out of the MCU though?
That they have.
Probably the Moon Knight
Moon Knight would be sick.
is one where the imports would be sick.
Moon Knight or Mr. Knight? I think Moon Knight.
Probably Moon Knight, but I would like to see a Mr. Knight as well. I feel like Mofix is really good at like the suits.
Yeah.
So theirs could probably, I could imagine some easily made sick customs.
Well, there is like a Mezco style one. There is I showed you, right? Mr.
You
Knight.
showed me the Conchu.
Okay, there is a Mr. Knight one of that one.
Okay.
It's like $70.
That's all right. I was
Yeah.
kind of imagining like a Mezco version of Mr. Knight
Yeah.
would make sense.
It's the same company that made. It's called Noda. I've got the Tick's head right now on it,
Dope.
but it's the suit body. It's like a white version of this one, but it's excellent. Yeah, I think it's. I'll be honest, it's pretty tempting. It comes with that Conchu head as well. You can pop on it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm trying to think,
I
though.
would be very tempted on one of them.
Daredevil, you don't want to import Daredevil?
I wanted a Daredevil really bad. I just couldn't find a good one. I actually liked what the Mezco looked like, but I kept hearing that it like creased really bad in the leather spots.
I'll be honest.
And
If SH made a Daredevil like they did with the Deadpool, I'd get it. This thing is cool,
That
man.
was the one I was talking about, by the way. I pre-ordered the Deadpool on Amazon and it just disappeared.
Oh, that sucks.
I didn't get any notice about why or anything.
Like the listing vanished, or your order just doesn't
I
exist
think
anymore.
the listing vanished.
Wow.
Which was bizarre. But yeah, that was supposed to come out like May 1st or something. I was like, all right, cool. It was only $80.
Yeah,
It's
it's great.
It's a little bit more than what it was supposed to be, but I was like, it's at least, a basic Deadpool.
It's great.
But yeah, I don't know why that didn't come in. That was weird to me. Anyhow, Doctor Strange 2, it was dope. We both liked it.
Loved it.
I don't know, we might do something more with this sketch.
I'll say. I mean, I saved it.
Right? I could imagine inking on top of it and it
Yeah.
looking decent.
I mean,
don't know what we
you
would do
can
with
you
it.
can ink it. What I'll do is I'll save it. I'll throw you your layer. You can ink yours. You can color yours. I'll ink mine and color mine in like Clip Studio, and then we can just piece it together if
Swap
you'd
'em.
like. Yeah.
Oakley dokley. All right. Well, then until the next one, guys. I think that was it. So stay chipper, chaps.
Say chipper.